Hello, everyone. Silver here. We are back with Rogue with the Dead this time. Uh, I've missed some stuff, apparently. But we're back with Rogue with the Dead. I still love this game. I still love this game. I did just want to play a little bit of it. Just to get, like, some more progress, really. I've not had, like, terribly the time. It did... So, from my last video, there is a bit more. I just didn't make videos on it of what I've done. I figured out I can continue to play this. The events work. I just don't have... The reason I guess it wasn't working on BlueStacks was because it's so unoptimized with how it runs with BlueStacks that it can't give you the message that, oh, hey, you can't put your score on the leaderboard because I'm using a fucking quote-unquote emulator, even though this is an official one by Google Play Games. Hence why I couldn't use my old account, like the one on my phone. But I don't care about that anymore. I do not care to use that account anymore because I am so much further with this one. This boss is still open? I mean, with this, there's not that much that's terribly useful. But I can actually do these, which a lot of power comes from these. Edith is my immortal one, right? Yeah. I feel like there's gonna be something if I kill off Sophia. Because she was a part of a story thing. She does have some good shit on her. Oh! Memory fragment somehow lost. Huh. I didn't realize she had that. Okay. I guess I can progress it that way. I didn't realize that. That makes this a lot different. That's probably why she starts off so young. She starts off, like, in her teens. Which the ages are pretty much random, by the way. And that determines when they die out. That's it. It just determines when they die. It determines nothing else for you. I am gonna get that. He also has 2, so I'm gonna get the tap upgrade. What was I saving up for on the Princess Night? I think I want attack protection, because that's an extra attack that it just defends from. The Monkle Fire, I was getting Gym Hunter. Yes, okay. And then Tangenolster. Treasure Master, that's what I wanted from him. Ooh, excuse me. I forgot I can upgrade. I always forget to do shit. Like, I've been skipping meals again. I keep forgetting meals. I'm very not optimized with how I do shit. But as you can tell, I've gotten a lot stronger since the last video. Because I do play this, like, by myself on a daily. That's why I can actually, like, recommend it. There's some other games that, like, I've played. I don't necessarily like to play games that I wouldn't recommend other people play. But there are some that I would definitely try just to do it. Weirdly enough, I know this sounds very shilly. Like, I sound like a fucking shill by saying this. But, even something like Raid Shadow Legends isn't a bad game. I know that's blasphemy to say. But it's not a bad game. It genuinely isn't. It's just one of those games that, like, you have to be into that type of game, really. It is a gacha game. It's very much a gacha game. It very much is, like, very grindy, I would say. If you wanted to get anywhere in it, it's very grindy. But I never really played too far into it, because it just wasn't my cup of tea. But it wasn't a bad game, by any means. It's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. But a lot of people act like it's just... Oh, it's the worst thing to be necessarily, like, sponsored by, and I don't think that. Like, people act like it's probably because so many people were getting sponsored by them that people were upset because everybody was singing the praises. And the thing is, they read a script. It's obvious that everybody who does that reads a script. And they likely haven't played it that much themselves. They probably have, like, an account that they were given. Just to be like, oh yeah, hey, I have an account. Here, join me here, so more people play the game. But it's not... It's nowhere near as bad as you would think. It's not a bad game. And you can play it on PC without having to, like... You can actually download it on PC without using an emulator or anything. Like BlueStacks or the Google Play beta. Again, I can only recommend doing stuff like that on official channels, like emulating, because otherwise you can be in trouble. But if there's no other option, I can't tell you not to, if that's something you want to do. Is, like, emulate something in that way. And a lot of people prefer doing that, especially with certain types of games. And I know what types of games people do it with. And I can't endorse that. Like, I physically can. I can't endorse people to, like, emulate console games. But I can't, like, stop you from doing it if you know the ways to, like, make them work. Because not all of them work properly. I'll tell you that. Because I've used emulators for games that I own, because I have a disc tray. But specifically for like a PlayStation 1, I've done that before, where I'll play my actual PlayStation 1 games because my computer can read that. It can read them as a game, and I can just play them that way. However, they were physical copies that I was playing. I had a PlayStation 1, but the disc tray blew off of it. Like, the actual, like, spinny thing in the center that holds the disc blew up. I don't know how it did. But it did. It physically exploded off of the disc tray violently. It put, like, a fucking hole through the top. Like, through the disc cover. It was funny at the time, because I think I was playing Mega Man Legends. I was playing Mega Man Legends when my disc tray blew up. I don't know why Mega Man Legends did that, but it did. But yeah, no, like, there's a lot of games that I like to play games like this. I like to try to find games that are hidden, kind of, like, not many people really know about it that much, or I don't see as many videos on it. Just because it's genuinely interesting. It's not something you see often. So, like, getting something like this game, where it's a genuinely fun app game, it's super rare, in my opinion. Finding something that's genuinely fun, that's an app game that doesn't give you like 50 million ads. And there are things that, like, I could probably be sponsored by on Twitch. Could probably have sponsors that are app games through stream elements, mind you. I don't know how it works because I don't like to accept a sponsor without knowing what it is, like knowing the game, and having used it myself to know how good it is. That's the only reason I had never done that. But I know several people who would have. Who would have done that. It's kind of like me and, because recently I didn't promote it, but I was like, oh yeah, hey, to my friends, I said, hey, there's this app that I use that just, like, slowly gives you money. And mind you, it's nowhere near a sustainable income. It's not at all a sustainable income. but it does help out. And that's one of the things that I use to, like, every couple months I get like $20 out of it. That's how much you actually get. Is like every couple months you get like 20 bucks. That's how unsustainable of an income it is, but it helps. Because like that $20 can come in handy and it's free. You do nothing to get it. Like right now, I'm technically earning it just by using my computer. But I'm not going to talk about that. If there's interest in it, I will talk more about it and maybe share my referral link so more people get money out of it. Because that could be a way that I would get a decent amount, like a decent income, is if I would have enough people. Because using my referral link, of course, would give me some like, back in it. It would give me something back. It's basically anytime you withdraw money, I would get $5. Not out of your money, but separately. And every site you read basically just tells you, yeah, no, it is real. It does do what it promises. You're not getting scammed. But some people say it brings up privacy concerns. But to be honest, using fucking Google is the same as using would be about the same amount, basically. Because Google is always using your fucking information. They have it. Anything you look up, anything like your ISP, they know everything that you're doing. Like, they 100% know everything that you do on the internet. There's nothing you can do to change that either, by the way. You just... They know. You use a VPN, they know you're using a fucking VPN. They can see the activity that's being done on their servers. Like, they know what you're doing. They don't care about your IP. They don't care about any of that. They just want to know what you're looking up so they can, like, actually target you more with ads, and that's it. So, a quote-unquote privacy concern is fucking null and void. You don't have privacy on the internet. That doesn't exist. And anybody who claims that you do, if you use, like, just using, like, a VPN is going to give you perfect privacy. No, the fuck it isn't. Your ISP has all your data. They're going to know. Google, anything you Google, they get data on that. There's no way around it. Fuck, at least the US government is they always have access to anything done. A VPN is just a way to get around a little bit of that, of the, like, restrictions that may be in your area. That's it. And so, a commonplace hacker, somebody who might get your data, won't see your actual IP. They can't see some of your actual data. So that's where you do have a benefit of using a VPN. I've only ever been hacked once, and it was specifically my Epic Games account. Somebody had access to it because it was the only thing I didn't care enough to get two-factor authentication. It was the only thing that I didn't use two-factor authentication on. And somebody got it. It didn't have any of my... Because I didn't buy anything. Because I used it to play Fortnite at one point. I didn't buy anything, so it didn't have any of my card info. And eventually I got it back and put two-factor authentication on my Epic Games account. But the hacker, the dumbass that is the hacker, spent their money on my account. Got me, like, a couple really sweaty skins. Like, skins that were known in Fortnite at the time as being sweaty skins. The people who are, like, super sweaty, rage if they lose. So the fact that they lost my account after having that was probably really upsetting. They were like, how do they get it back? And it's because they didn't have access to my email, which I could just change the password on. Because it's probably just a dumb person who thought, oh, I'm really smart. Like, no, you're not. I was trained in IT. I know all of your fucking methods to get shit out of people. But yeah, no, it's genuinely something that's like, your privacy does not exist online. It just doesn't. So there's that. That has nothing to do with Rogue with the Dead, by the way. Has nothing to do with Rogue with the Dead. I was just like wanting to talk about it a little bit. Because I am tempted to share my referral link for the site that I use, or the app that I use specifically to get money. But I don't think a lot of people will use it. Genuinely. Because I think you do need a PayPal. I think you need a PayPal in order to use it. But I cannot be positive, because I set mine up through PayPal. And my friends set theirs up. One of my friends set theirs up through PayPal as well, who used my link. I don't know if there's a referral limit at all. It would make sense for them to put, like, a referral limit so you don't just, like... So somebody, like, a content creator wouldn't use it and then, like, spread their referral link through that. But I wouldn't spread it that way, but I would if people were interested in it. Because I have used it for almost 4 years. I have, genuinely. And I've never once really had an issue. I did have one issue one time, but that was because they changed, like, payment providers. So some things got confused, and I had to clear that up. And they gave me double the payment because of the hassle of it. Of having to change my payment, or of them having to change the payment provider, and my money getting lost for like a couple months. They did give me double, and it wasn't a terrible process. It wasn't like, oh, hey, what the fuck, you know, over the phone. It wasn't like talking with fucking, the people who do your internet, like your ISP or telephone companies. It's nothing like, nothing like those, because those are really fucking annoying to deal with. Like, actually fucking annoying. Dealing with those motherfuckers is ridiculous. Phone companies deserve to be, like, chastised for how they fuck around with your shit. They really deserve being chastised and made fun of. 100% they do. I'm probably gonna reset here. Okay. Sophia got a little bit. I wonder if her memories do anything currently. It seems not so far. I feel like I could remember something. She's got growth speed A as well. So it probably expects you to get her leveled up very quickly in order to get all of the lost memories. Requires 30 to get that. I will need to keep her alive, though, is the thing. I don't have another immortality potion? That's him who is talking. Again, I've been following a guide in order to get further faster. There is a guide you can follow. I am gonna do this though, because those are cheap right now. Because it resets. These reset every so often, so you can get them again. This maxes out at 5,000. I think all of these, like all the attack and this kind of stuff, maxes at 5,000. But yeah, no. I'll probably be in my next video. It'll probably be me coming back to FGO, to be honest. Speed of warrior types. I'll probably take the Tomon Cavalry. I will take that. Increased stab attack power. Cool. Increase movement speed of archers. I'm just gonna do this through it. But economy items are super important for getting further. Like, super important, really. The more economy you have, the further you can get faster. Oh, it's a Forbidden Garden? Guardian. The only thing I need is to get this up. I'll go ahead and I'll probably buy it, honestly. I'll buy into it. Because I do like getting these. This is typically what I spend my gems on, is the Forbidden Guardian extensions. Because you get a lot of stuff out of it. For 500 rubies. For 500 rubies, extending that is a good idea. Just in general. That's my opinion, though. I can't say it's super recommended. I'm just dumb, and I feel like it's better. At 150, I get this, which gives me another chest. That's why I'm saving like 10. I don't know how much it costs. I could probably look it up. I don't have the shit to spend on her lost memory yet. That's probably what I'll buy, is just like all of her lost memories. I don't have all of these. I didn't mean to buy that. It's not like it's really wasted money. I mean, it is, because I'm not going to use it. But all of the buffs you get stack, and getting more kind of just takes stuff out of the pool, so you get rarer stuff. Again, this game is very fun for what it is, genuinely. I went ahead and bought the auto because it only was 1,000. And I make tons. I make plenty to be able to, like, afford that in this game. A lot of the base artifacts require a whole lot. Genuinely. They require a whole lot to get kind of like to max. There we go. That's the word. I've shown this off before, but like a lot of the base ones, you had to get like almost 20,000. But then some of the rare ones have very low maxes, and those are the ones that you kind of want to get. Like, you kind of want to max those out, so it takes it out of the pool, so you can get better stuff. Because even a red chest is able to give you, like, some of the rarer items. And especially now, I have some items that increase the chance of me getting rarer stuff. And if I ever do the ads in a video, if I, like, press an ad, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut out the ad. Because I'm not sponsored by whoever is... And I don't know what kind of ad I'm gonna get, and I don't want to show an ad that's, like, something scammy. Because I don't trust it. But I don't use the ads in, like, when I'm doing a video on this game, just because I don't want to do that. Again, I did a lot of off-screen stuff, and I should probably catch everybody up on the story. So, Ellie here, Ellie, this girl, we did see that she wants you to face the Demon Lord. At the very beginning, that's what she wants you to do. She wants you to beat the Demon Lord, but you keep, like, dying and coming back. You don't retain your memories, quote-unquote, even though you're the player, of course, you know. But the character doesn't retain their memories until you get to a certain point. And then you get an item that lets you retain your memories through Rebirth, like through dying and coming back. And once you have that, she's like, oh, well, I'm Queen Brynhildr. After the demons attacked, I eventually had to side with them in order to, like, spare myself. And so I've been steadily sending troops just to die to the demons. Yada yada. And then eventually you beat the Demon Lord with her help. And she's like, she's super glad and then disappears after 300. After mile marker 300, she completely disappears. She doesn't show up here at all. And she doesn't talk until you get to 600, where you defeat the Queen of Hell. Hell, I believe is her name. Queen of the Underworld. We'll probably see her. I can pretty easily get there, I believe. But you defeat her, Ellie comes back, and all is good. Once you get to floor 300, that's when you unlock the ability to do the events, the EX dungeon here, and Forest Events Battle. No, wait. Yeah. You get both of them, I believe. Forest Defense Battle might be a little bit further in than just 300. But I can't remember. I know at 300 I got Forest Defense Battle. I think the EX dungeon you might get a little bit before that. I'm just gonna go ahead and summon, so it can go a little bit faster. Sandy has died. Oh, okay. I was about to say. Oh, Sophia died. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, no, I did not need Sophia to die. I don't know how she died. Oh. Okay, give up. I had to. Just so my Sophia didn't die again. I can't have her dying, because she's not immortal. If she dies, she dies. I think you can resummon her, but I don't know how that works. I don't know how it works, like, in-game. I've never had that happen. Because I've never really gotten this far. Again, the account on my phone, which is what I normally played. That's why I got it on PC. I was looking for a way to play it on PC. Because my phone is fucking dying on me. Like, the LEDs on my phone are going out. I keep forgetting to do food. I wouldn't have been able to beat that Forbidden Guardian, to be honest. I'm still not far enough to be able to do that. I'm gonna have to see if the YouTube editor lets me cut parts of a video. It should. It should let me. I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't. How long is this? It's almost an hour now. But yeah, no. If people are genuinely interested in that one program that I use, I might put it in a video. If you're interested in that, genuinely put it down in the comments. Again, I think it requires a PayPal, but you might be able to do it like direct deposit into a bank. I just don't know. But yeah, that's genuinely something that's, if people show interest, because I've used it and I know how it works. I know how it's like, it's decent. It's something like I actually use. So I can not like endorse it, but I could tell people, yeah, no, this is something that's useful. It actually does what it says. It does what it claims. Which is more than you can say for a lot of things. The fact that it does what it claims. Yeah, Needhog is right before the Hell Queen of the Underworld. So we'll see her this time, for sure. I think I might have already been in the 700s when I started. No, I wasn't. I remember, I was not in the 700s when I started. I was, like, at the beginning. The guide tells you not to focus on the health of, like, warrior types. But I like to. Because they eventually die anyways, and it doesn't matter. They will eventually die, which gives them a chance to respawn as a giant version. Or a Titanic version, which gives more health to the unit. Gives them more health and attack. Yeah, Underworld Queen Hell. I knew it had to be Hell. Weirdly enough, fucking Fire Emblem Heroes taught me that. That might be a game worth... Well, I don't have my account. I had a Black Knight on my account before. I had a very powerful Black Knight on my old Fire Emblem Heroes account. It might connect. But I don't necessarily want to play terribly many gacha games at one time. I preferably just do one at a time. And, like, FGO is my main gacha. I don't really care to do anything more than FGO. Like, I love Fire Emblem, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite game series. But the Fire Emblem Heroes, the app game, I can't say is that great unless you really like gacha games. And you really like Fire Emblem specifically. And even then, you couldn't necessarily recommend it because it's pretty obvious what... They could have done so much better with the story, in my opinion. Because the story feels lackluster to me in Fire Emblem Heroes. It feels like they put in a certain amount of effort, but then stopped. Because the premise is cool. The premise is a cool idea. I was gonna make a D&D campaign based on that premise, actually. I was working on like a D&D book combining Fire Emblem and D&D, like the rules of D&D with the Fire Emblem setting and weapons. So you could have a campaign like that where it's a reference to like Fire Emblem in general. Basically, you might see characters that you know, all of that. I did want to finish it at some point, but there's so much to go through. Because I was doing it in sections. I was starting with like the base Fire Emblem, like the first game, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. I was starting with that. It would include both Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Fire Emblem. I forget the second Fire Emblem that was on the DS. It's a remake of the second half of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Because Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon is a remake for the DS that did come to the US. But the other DS game didn't come to the US. We did not get it. I don't know why we didn't. But we didn't get that one. I have played a little bit of it, like while trying to learn Japanese. But it used so much old language in language that was not common that it wasn't helping me actually learn Japanese in its own right. It was more helping me just play Fire Emblem or like fantasy games. But no, it's... I did want to do that. After this reset, this next reset will be the end. I do still want to finish that book, because that would be the first in a series of D&D books. Because if I went straight to like Fire Emblem Heroes and just did all of it at once, you would not have... I would have a huge-ass book. Like, because I've tried that once. I had to revise the book originally, so it didn't do that, because it was so much all at once. Like, going through every single item, adding it into the... adding, like, stats and shit into it, through the entire Fire Emblem series. That I decided it would be better to start out with just, like, one game, and then go from there. I think, yeah, this is around the point that it's reset last time, I believe. Sophia's still alive? Yes. It tells you if they're dead. It tells you when you're looking at them there, if they're dead or not. I don't care if the others die. I just care if she dies. And I don't need her dying. I did make my one cleric immortal. Because I was like, oh, might be a good idea to make a cleric immortal, not realizing I would get Sophia. When I spawned her out of the quote-unquote summoning gacha for the Einharders, I was shocked to see that it was just her. Like, I don't think I had any other choices. It was just Sophia. And then it gave me, like, story and background with the tavern keeper. The guy in the tavern, this guy. He's been waiting for Sophia to appear because that's, like, his long-lost lover. And every time she appears, she forgets who he is. So, you have to, like, I guess you have to get her memory fragments in order to do something with the story with that. There's a lot of, like, side stories and stuff. There's a lot of kind of sad side stories. This game doesn't seem to have happy endings. So far, from my personal, like, seeing of it. The immortal characters, when they die, they don't, they just respawn eventually. After, like, 15 minutes, they respawn. Or if you reset, like Rebirth, they also respawn then. I'm pretty sure. I think I remember that very clearly, that they respawn that way. Sandy is, like, my strongest unit, because she is a rare unit. She's a very rare unit. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, actually. Okay, that's actually very good. I'm glad I forced that one out. I'm not in the 700 mark yet. Farming-wise, I guess. It's easy for me to get to 600, but the 700 mile marks are harder for me to like, burst through. They're much harder. But I got here so much faster than I did before. Like, on my main account, I had gotten this far so much faster. And I got really lucky with, like, the items that I was getting from chests. So I'm keeping this one, and the one on my phone I don't care about as much anymore. I think it's about time to rebirth. I don't think I'll get past the boss this time. I am using the game does, or the guide I use does tell you to just use like Princess Knight and Cavalryman because they're the fastest. But I think that guide is outdated. Because like Monkelfire is also pretty fast in comparison to other units. And it can get faster. So it's not a bad unit to get, and it's just like the problem with archers is a mage is just better in all regards. But a Monkelfire is like a mage, except it shoots faster. It doesn't have quite as much damage as my mages because I haven't focused on them because I recently got Monkelfire. It's something you can only get out of doing the EX dungeon. This one, you can only get it out of this as a chance drop. Which you do, it's a permanent event, so it's always there. It will always be there. Yeah, I think now is the time to rebirth. But there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video. I will be ending it here because I don't want this to go on and drag on forever. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of this type of content, because I know I did a lot of this at like one time, like a whole lot all at once. But no. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this type of content, do let me know in the comments. If you want to see more of this game, again, just let me know. I gladly play this. This is one of the games that I actually like enjoy. That's why I keep coming back to it. I keep coming back to it for that reason. It's because I enjoy it as a game. If you do want to watch me play games live, I do stream both on YouTube and on Twitch at twitch.tv/silvertatagami-plays, same as my YouTube. But currently I'm not streaming. I have to get back into the swing of it, honestly. It's kind of hard to stream when you break your schedule. That's why I'm starting to do videos right now. So I have something for people to watch and enjoy. And my videos are getting a little bit of traction. I'm starting to do more personalized stuff, like actually doing thumbnails that aren't just like basic. I've explained why. Somebody had told me about it, and I was like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to do that. But nevertheless, if you want to support me with like donations or stuff, if you want to like monetarily support me, I do have a tip link on my Twitch page, and it only takes PayPal currently. As far as I know, it only takes PayPal. But that's one way to support me. The other one would be Throne, because currently I don't get paid to do these videos. I don't get money from this. On YouTube specifically, it would take a lot to get me to that point. I would need like 500 subscribers, all of that bullshit. 500 subscribers and like 19 hours of watch time. Because I don't do shorts. I would need 3 million shorts views. I've thought about uploading some of like the clips that people have made of me as shorts. But currently that's not what I'm wanting to do. I could do that just to like throw a wrench into the algorithm a bit, but yeah. With Throne, that's a secondary way to support me is Throne. It would just be giving me gifts or donating money toward getting a new PC or like my model rigged, like fully rigged, so it can be live 2D like it's supposed to. Those are things that you can donate towards their crowdfunding goals, as well as just random gifts. I think I have random gifting on as well, but I don't know. I don't remember if I have random gifts on, where you could just buy me something and then send it through Throne. Either way, if you do want to keep track on me, see exactly when I go live, I do have my Twitter, x.com/silverwriter7. Writer as in somebody who writes a story, not writer as in somebody who rides a horse. That's where you can watch or you can pay attention to if I start streaming, because the moment I go live, I post on my Twitter that I am going live. But either way, again, thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to, if people are genuinely interested in seeing like seeing how that money making thing works, do tell me in the comments. Because if you're genuinely interested, I can put my referral link, or I can start putting my referral link in my YouTube descriptions, so people can actually use that and get a little bit of kickback. It would give me a little bit of kickback from you using it as well, which would help me be able to do these a lot more and actually save up money to be able to get stuff going for the channel more. Because if I can make a decent amount of income that I'm not having to spend on my cats, I can actually do some of the things that like my crowdfunding goals are for myself. I could hire editors, I could hire people to make thumbnails and stuff. It would be a lot better and easier for me to actually go through with that in that case. But again, either way, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.